Yo, what up everyone? Amir Rahim here, owner of Rapping and Snacking, getting into another hot takes video. These are hot takes by y'all. Y'all submitted them to my Instagram a month or whatever ago, and I'm going to go ahead and answer some more. I really like this series, just a little fun stuff to engage with the community and see where we agree and disagree. Hit me up on Instagram and TikTok at Rapping and Snacking. Subscribe, like the channel, click an ad. It gets me money, costs you nothing. Let's get into the first take. First off, we got someone named Ride Side. This person says Ice Cube is greater than Hove. Body of work, classics, disses, content, longevity, and competition. So I think it is worth noting that this person does have a picture. His profile picture is of Ice Cube. So there is clearly some bias there, but I'm also biased because I am a huge Ice Cube fan. Ice Cube is my favorite rapper of all time. With that being said, I don't necessarily think he's the best rapper of all time, but he is my personal favorite rapper of all time. And you know what? It pains me to say this, but I just have to keep it real. I don't think Ice Cube is necessarily greater than JayZ. And also, I don't really know if this is really a hot take. There's so many ways to look at this, right? And what do you mean by greater? Well, this person says body of work, classics, disses, content, longevity, and competition. So body of work, honestly, if we're counting like the body of work and the longevity, I think those are somewhat similar, not entirely, but somewhat. So body of work, I mean, I think JayZ's been more consistent, but I think Ice Cube had a much stronger high. I think Ice Cube's high with Death Certificate and even like America's Most Wanted, I think those are better than anything JayZ's ever released in terms of an album. I don't think JayZ has anything that touches those two albums right there. I think he has albums that, like I said, over the years are better than some of Ice Cube's albums, especially like when we get to the 2000s. I think Ice Cube really fell off. And he's one of those rappers who was so great for so long and then really hit a decline. And now I feel like his discography has been, especially post-2000, has just not been that great. There's been some good songs here and there, but as far as albums, no way. But JayZ, I mean, as far as disses, I mean, Ice Cube has the best diss of all time with No Vaseline. In my opinion, I think it's the best diss song ever, so I agree with the disses. And he's dissed quite a lot of people, and a lot of people have dissed him. And longevity, I mean, yeah, Ice Cube's been around longer than JayZ, but JayZ's also put out so much music. He has more solo albums than Ice Cube, so, I mean, yeah, sure. Longevity, sure, Ice Cube started before JayZ, but, I mean, whatever, it matters, like, what you put out in the time you've been in the game, right? And JayZ's done more with his time. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with this. I think I wouldn't be mad if someone said Ice Cube's better, and I wouldn't be mad if someone said JayZ's better. I think they're both so great, but, I don't know. I prefer Ice Cube, but Hove is amazing, and I just think he's been consistent for longer, and yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and disagree with that, but Cube is my personal favorite. Let's go to the next one. This person, Rick Strip Jr., says Docs the Name 2000 is Redman's best album. I'm going to go ahead, and that is a hot take, I'd say, and I'd go ahead and disagree with this. You know what, though? I do respect this because Rick Strip Jr., what he's saying, because Docs the Name 2000 is actually tied for my third favorite Redman album. It's very close, and I think what the album and There's a Dark Side are like my 1 and 2. Those kind of switch off, and also Docs the Name and Muddy Water switch off as my 3rd and 4th. I think Docs the Name is really underrated. I think Redman's first 4 albums they're so good. That's one of the best 4 album runs in hip hop history, solo or groups included. And man, Redman is so great. With that being said, I don't think that album touches what the album or There's a Dark Side, but it is fun. It is great. It is Redman. He kills it. He knocks out the park. He's amazing. So let's go ahead and get to this next one. Simon Du Futur. Put a little accent on that. I messed that one up. This person says the Massacre is greater than Get Rich or Die Trying. So I don't know if this is it probably is a hot take, man, because Get Rich or Die Trying is one of those albums that I think a lot of people pretty much say is 50 Cent's best work, and I agree with that. So I'm going to go ahead and disagree with Simon here. I think, I mean, there's quite a few reasons why I think Get Rich or Die Trying is better. But just one of them, just think of like the singles that came from Get Rich or Die Trying and compare them and compare them to the Massacre. And we're not just going to go off of singles here, because singles don't necessarily just make an album. There's so many factors. But I think that is one valid point, because Get Rich or Die Trying sold so many millions of albums that a lot of that's obviously because of the singles. So we have like In the Club. I have the CDs here just as I wanted to show them a little bit. But we have like In the Club, we have If I Can't, we have PIMP, we have 21 Questions, those alone. And I think Many Men had if I recall, that one had a music video, and like that's a single. So we just count like those 5, and we go up against songs like Candy Shop and Out of Control, which is funny because Out of Control, the remix, which was the popular one, that one isn't on this album unless you had like one of the deluxes or whatever. But you have the original on here, which is nowhere near as good. Then you have like Disco Inferno, Just a Little Bit. So it's kind of like these songs do not hold a candle to the Get Rich or Die Trying songs. And the Get Rich or Die Trying single, or Get Rich or Die Trying singles, the Get Rich or Die Trying singles too, those are still being played like everywhere. Like seriously, they really are. Not to say that these ones are bad, but I mean, come to look back at it, some of the lyrics on like Candy Shop, super cringy. I can't listen to that. Just a Little Bit, I think the beat is amazing by Scott Storch. But also it's like I'm not listening to that as much as I am with even like PIMP or 21 Questions. Like I think these singles are so much better than Get Rich or Die Trying. Then we get to the actual content, the other music on the album. We have like the intro with the coin, the flipping, and then you hear it hit the ground. Like that's awesome. We get What Up Gangsta, which is such a crazy way to set off the album. I mean, the features, also Eminem features on this album are incredible. We got Patiently Wait, and we got him on Bloodhound as well. But then compare those to Gatman and Robin. I mean, Gatman and Robin is nothing compared to those songs. That chorus sucks on Gatman and Robin. Like it's trash ass chorus. And then we get we have Heat on the first album. Oh my god, Bloodhound. I mean, and it's so great. I mean, this album, and one thing about both these albums, I think they both kind of falter at the end, like with Like My Style, Poor Little Rich, and Gotta Make It to Heaven on Get Rich or Die Trying. I'm like, those are the weakest songs in my opinion. And Like My Style, I don't know if I mentioned that one, whatever. And then we got on the Massacre, we got like Build You Up, God Gave Me Style, So Amazing, I Don't Need 'Em. Like the biggest problem with the Massacre is that it's just too long. Like why would you put over 20 songs on this album? It was not needed. 16 tracks, Get Rich or Die Trying was perfect. It made complete sense. And like I said, I'd even take off like 2 songs off that one. But Get Rich or Die Trying is definitely better in my opinion. Honestly, I think everything should be debated, but in my opinion, I can really think I could win an argument on that one. But that's just my opinion, man. I appreciate you nonetheless. I think the Massacre does get a lot of hate for some reason. Some people think that that Get Rich or Die Trying is the only hot thing that 50 Cent ever released, which is just wrong. I think the Massacre, if it was trimmed like 5 songs, it would be revered a little closer to Get Rich or Die Trying. But boom, appreciate you, Simon. Next up, we got Mac Ways. The Game doesn't get enough credit as he should. Went 3 for 3 on his first albums. So, you know what? I'll agree with this. And, I don't know if it's a hot take, but, maybe neutral take. I do agree that he doesn't get enough credit. I think that he has such an incredible discography, and a lot of people don't talk about him. Maybe they think he's corny. Maybe they think whatever they think about the Game, because, a lot of the stuff he does off the microphone is pretty whack or questionable. And also on top of that, sometimes the name dropping can get very annoying depending on which part of his career you're in particular. It can get a little too much. But you know what? I think the documentary and Doctor's Advocate are 2 amazing albums. And then LAX, I think that is possibly my least favorite Game album. I'm not sure if it is, but it's definitely in the bottom 3 of Game albums for me. So when you say went 3 for 3 on his first 3 albums, I'm kind of like, yeah, I guess. But LAX is the weakest link for sure. I think he went like the Red album's better. I think G's Piece is better. Like he has really good albums after that. So I hope you've listened to like the rest of his discography too, Mac Ways, because it's really, really, really special. But shout out on that take. Next up, we got Kevin McCormier saying Black Moon was better than Mobb Deep. That is a hot take, bro. I'm disagree with you, and shout out to you because I always see you on my Instagram engaging, so I appreciate you, bro. I'm gonna disagree with that. I think Black Moon. I think the boot camp click in general is dope. And that includes, the groups within it. But Black Moon is no way better than Mobb Deep, in my opinion. I think that Mobb Deep has just released so much more music as well. I'm assuming you're just talking about the groups. I'm not counting like solo discography, and even if we are, I think, Prodigy's plus Havoc stuff is better than the members of Black Moon, like Buckshot, etc. So, no, I mean, like, we can just go like Infamous, Hell on Earth, Murder Music, just like those alone, and put them up with the stuff that Black Moon releases a group, and it's not touching it, in my opinion. But that is an interesting take. It is a hot take. I'm just going to have to disagree with you on that one, bro. We got another regular. This person also comments on my page sometimes. I remember the name. We got Keaton Hodge here saying, Life is Too Short is better than Illmatic. Oh, man, you know what? I love when people give love to Too Short. I think it's just always a beautiful thing because I think he gets put in a box where he's just some dude who's out for sex all the time, and that's all what he raps about. And he does in a lot of his songs, but he also has some uplifting and great music too that doesn't revolve around that. With that being said, I'm going to have to disagree with you on here, man. Life is Too Short, in my opinion, is not better than Illmatic. I think Illmatic, the instrumentals aged so much better than the ones on Life is Too Short. I think Life is Too Short, although it's great, I think some of it does sound dated. I think that there are some songs on there that did stand the test of time, like Cuss Words in particular. I think Don't Fight the Feeling was great to introduce Rappin' Forte. It has Danger Zone on it too. I think there's obviously the track Life is Too Short is great, and then there's other songs on there too that I do enjoy. But Illmatic, I think not only the beats are better, but I think just to hear like Nas coming out swinging after we heard him on the barbecue, and then to go and make an album like that, and to hear him execute on songs like New York State of Mind and Halftime, which that was on Zebrahead, but they added that. But then we have tracks like Memory Lane, and it's such a special piece of work, and that's not to discount Too Short, but to put it up against Illmatic is a very tough task, and I'm going to go ahead and disagree with that. But yeah, I mean, it's fair in the sense that they're both like shorter albums in terms of tracks. Like there's not too many tracks on either. There's 10 on Illmatic, and Life is Too Short, I think there's either 8 or 9. I think it also depends on the pressing you have, because I have a clean and I have an explicit. It's 8, 9, or 10. I'm forgetting off the top of my head. But either way, I'm going with Illmatic on this one. Appreciate you. Next up, oh, this is a controversial one. I like this. We got this dude or chick, I'm not sure, Lubo Dinovsky, saying Pac and Biggie are considered GOATs just because they got killed in their prime. Ooh, I love this. This is a hot take, I would say, and you know what? I agree with this. I think I agree with this because I think that there's a lot of artists and people in general who get a lot more fame or love or whatever because they got killed or died too soon, or maybe how they died, right? I think that's a big thing. For example, and this sucks, right? But let's say, for example, an artist or a person dies over drug overdose or something in that facet, right? You may feel less bad for them as if someone who got shot or died in a car accident or something like that, something that's not as in their control, right? Which I think is a tragic thing, but that also can help people in terms of legacy and things like that. And I bring that up because Tupac and Biggie are always in top 10 lists and always in top 20. They're in like so many lists, and I think that's also unfair to other people who've been putting in work, who are great and etc. Obviously, I wish we were able to see these two awesome artists still be alive, making music, doing whatever they're doing. With that being said, I think that both of them have really, in terms of legacy, have benefited from that. And like I said, it's a little unfair. It's very unfair because we haven't been able to see if they would have gotten better, if they would have gotten worse, if they would have went commercial, if they would have flopped, if whatever would have happened, we don't know. But also, I think that's why so many people put them up there. And I think a lot of the people who also, a lot of the lists that I see with just Tupac and Biggie also usually have like JayZ and Nas, and it's always like the same list that you see. So I will agree with that. It is a controversial take for sure, but there is definitely some truth to it. But yeah, and next up we got something that ties in very, very, very well with this explanation I just gave. And this is from Waxel Foley. This guy, if you think I have an awesome collection, this guy Waxel Foley has such a great collection. One of my favorite collections on Instagram. So shout out to him. It is very impressive. But he says most people's top five lists with the same 4 out of 5 artists tell me they only listen to 50 artists. Yawn emoji. So Waxel Foley, this guy, like I said, he has a big time collection. He's listened to so much hip hop, and a lot of it is all over, and they're not all household names. He has a lot of stuff that I personally also haven't heard. I just need to get to that level on some things. But no, and you know what? This really ties in with my previous take a little bit, because I really agree, and I've elaborated this maybe in my last hot takes video. I think a lot of people do. They have the same list. They all have the same list. And you know what? And I've said this before. I think that if you're able to have a top 5, maybe not a top 5, but for sure a top 20, top 30, top 40, top 50. When I saw this top 50 list, I was like, what the hell's going on? If you have a list that big, I think you've only listened to that many artists, because I think when I was younger, when I was in high school, when I was in middle school, even like in early stages of college, I was able to make a top 10. I was able to make like a top 15. Like if you ask me, I was able to do that. And I think when that happened, to me, I'd really only heard like 20 artists more than that. So I had such a small sample size to choose from. When you're listening to hundreds of artists, or if you listen to thousands of artists over your lifetime and actually like listening to the music, it is so hard to pinpoint a list. It would be easier to give a top 10 from each city, not state, city. Like that's when it can get easier. So with Waxel Foley, I mean, I really agree, because when I saw like people when whatever site that was I forget whatever site that was, but they dropped that top 50 list and then everyone was putting top 50 lists. I'm like, dude, like come on, man, like. It's either you've only listened to 50 artists or 70 artists or whatever, or you're just naming the first people come to your head, because there's no way you can. And if you can do that, then much power to you. I envy you. I can't do that. It's too tough. It changes. You can ask me today, and Project Pat would be in my top 10. You can ask me 2 years ago, and who would be my top 10? I don't know. Redman. Like, it's hard, man. Like, it's so tough. I definitely agree with Waxel Foley, because I get annoyed, man. I see the same stuff, and it's like, bro, have you even listened to anyone? Because why do I see Tupac in every list? Why do I see Nas in every list? Why do I see Andre 3000 in every list? Like, why do I see that? And it is annoying. Like I said, the top 5, it's a little easier, but when you get to like top 20s and they all look the same, it's like, come on, man. Like, what are we listening to here? But anyways, I mean, Waxel Foley, shout out to you, and shout out to everyone here. I really enjoyed these hot takes, as I do all these videos. They're just super fun, just spewing off the dome. So I think I'm going to need more hot takes. I'm going to do another poll on Instagram, get some people's feedback for more hot takes. I'm going to do more of these videos, because I think I'm out, or I got the best ones that I want to do out of these. So hit me up on Instagram at Rappin' and Snackin', TikTok or Rappin' and Snackin'. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, click an ad. I appreciate y'all so much. Let me know what y'all think of these hot takes. Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm talking crazy? Let me know. I don't take it personal, but I appreciate y'all as always. Bless.